Goeienaand, good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And earlier this evening, I put up a video which talked about how De Klerk had defended apartheid when it came to it being crimes against humanity. And what he said in the statement through his foundation made perfect sense. And as I said, I totally supported what he said. But guess what he's done? He's bowed to pressure, and he's done a complete about-face on this whole issue. This man has basically demonstrated to everybody in South Africa who cares that he is a coward. The reason he was pushing for total democracy in South Africa is now becoming self-evident. And, you know, there are a lot of people on my channel who absolutely despise W De Klerk. And what I'm going to talk about now basically confirms their concerns about the man who was the last president under the old apartheid regime. Now look, as you know, this channel does not in any way support the apartheid system. It was a travesty. There's no question about that. But what has happened is that South Africa has jumped from the pan into the fire under this ANC government. That's what's actually happened. Now, let me just get back to De Klerk and why this man is so despised by the white community. W De Klerk has apologized for a statement last Friday in which his foundation justified its stance that apartheid was not a crime against humanity. It also unconditionally withdrew the statement, which came a day after the EFF took De Klerk on at the State of the Nation address, demanding that he be removed from the House over his role as the last apartheid president. De Klerk was joint deputy president under former President Nelson Mandela in 1994. De Klerk said in a statement on Monday, "I have taken note of the vehement reaction to our response to the EFF's attack on me at the State of the Nation address on Thursday night. I agree with Desmond and Leah Tutu Foundation that this is not the time to quibble about the degrees of unacceptability of apartheid. It was totally unacceptable." And I totally agree, and that's why I left South Africa in 1986. But that's another story. The W De Klerk Foundation has accordingly decided to withdraw its statement on February the 14th unconditionally and apologizes for the confusion, anger and hurt that it has caused. By April 27th, 1994, under my leadership, the whole legislative framework of apartheid had been dismantled and the way had been opened for the adoption of our present non-racial democratic constitution, the statement reads. And it goes on to say, however, the international crime of apartheid did not disappear with the demise of apartheid in South Africa. In 1998, it was included in the Statute of Rome, which established the International Criminal Court. In terms of Article 7.1, a crime against humanity is defined as acts committed as part of a widespread or systematic attack directed against any civilian population with knowledge of the attack. Now, that definition fits perfectly with what is happening to the minority groups and more specifically the white people in South Africa today under the ANC government. So what this UN Charter actually says is that the ANC government is also complicit in the type of crimes against humanity that are being pointed at regarding the apartheid times. Anyway, let's continue. De Klerk went on to say, It includes the crime of apartheid as a crime against humanity and defines it as inhumane acts committed in the context of an institutional regime of systemic oppression and domination by one racial group over any other racial group or groups, and committed with the intention of maintaining that regime. You know what that perfectly spells out? Black economic empowerment. And for those who don't know what black economic empowerment is, it's basically saying that whites need not even apply for a job in South Africa. Because if your skin color isn't black, you're not going to get it. That's what BEE stands for. It's the most disruptive and destructive racist policy in South Africa today. And it's quite extraordinary that the mainstream media never talk about it. Everybody knows about it, but they just avoid the issue. The De Klerk Foundation said it was deeply committed to national reconciliation and to the achievement of the foundation values on which the Constitution is based, including human dignity, the achievement of equality, the advancement of human rights and freedoms, non-racialism and non-sexism, the supremacy of the Constitution and the rule of law, and a genuine multi-party system of democratic governance. Well, I'm not going to labor the point, but there's one community in South Africa right now that's been ostracized. And on this channel, we see it as an act of genocide of what's going on in South Africa against this one small minority group. And yes, I'm talking about the white population. I've covered this a lot in the past, so just look at my old videos and you'll see the evidence of what I'm talking about here. But of course, because it's the white population, the mainstream media just simply look the other way because it does not fit their narrative. Now that is racist. That is how racist the mainstream media around the world are. And on this channel you're watching right now, it's been demonetized by YouTube because it goes against the philosophy, the lefty philosophy of YouTube. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to discourage people from putting up videos which don't fit with their philosophy. That ain't freedom of speech. That is a completely disgusting attribute that you find right across the internet on channels like Facebook or platforms like Facebook, YouTube, Google, and so you can go on Twitter, all run by a bunch of lefties. So people who want to maintain their cultural history and backgrounds because they care about the history are kind of marginalized. Okay? That's what's happening. And De Klerk has completely lost the plot when it comes to this. Let's continue. De Klerk has been widely condemned following the statement by his foundation saying that the idea that apartheid was a crime against humanity was, and remains, an agitprop project initiated by the Soviets and the ANC, South African Communist Party, allies, to stigmatize white South Africans by associating them with genuine crimes against humanity, which have generally included totalitarian repression and the slaughter of millions of people. On Thursday, the EFF, at the State of the Nation address, disrupted President Cyril Ramaphosa, demanding that de Klerk, who was sitting in the public gallery, be kicked out of the event as he had blood on his hands. Well, quite honestly, the blood on de Klerk's hands aren't just black. They're in increasing numbers. They're the white population. That's what he's done. He's completely destroyed South Africa, its economy, its future, and left it a shell of the country that it once was. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. For those who haven't watched my videos before, go back in the library and have a look at what the ANC government have done to every municipality in the country. they're a disgrace, complete disgrace, because of corruption, incompetence, and black economic empowerment. And because of broad-based black economic empowerment, we have a new term called black privilege. What is black privilege? Let me tell you in a nutshell. Black privilege is where well-connected ANC politicians, their family, their friends, their cadres, they get the spoils through numerous ways. Numerous means Ramaphosa himself is a multi-billionaire as a direct result of the racist employment and company policies that the ANC have brought in South Africa. And the only people who are being empowered or enriched by these policies are those select few in the ANC. The wider black population are facing far more poverty today, far more challenges when it comes to health, fresh water, sewage, sanitation, you name it, education. Far more challenges today than they were under the old apartheid system, which, as I said at the start, I agree is completely reprehensible, but there need to be a better way. This ANC government is just destroying South Africa. And de Klerk, you are a disgrace. You are a complete disgrace. And I supported you when you said that the apartheid system was not crime against humanity. It actually kept a country growing, and it was probably it was the greatest country in Africa. And people were quite happy. And then you had the Russians and the ANC coming in, completely destroying and now looting what's left. Of course, the mainstream media won't talk about this. As I said earlier in this video, it does not fit their biased narrative. Alright guys, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates. Please like this video, please share this video, and above all, please stay safe. Bye for now.